Hello everyone. Starting to stream. Finally, had a little technical issue with this. Unfortunately, it seems that events doesn't really work properly, so I just went with stream now. So here I am. It is my birthday, and I just decided to do a live stream on my birthday. So this should be a lot of fun. I don't really have much planned, so I did ask for some people to give questions, and I will be doing a bit of a Q&A, so anyone who's watching... Oh, hello. I see two people. The Moonchin King and Matilda Gothica. Wonder how many other people are here. So, hello everyone. So I'm going to be doing a bit of a, I guess you could say, a Q&A. I have a few questions that I got on Twitter, so I will pull them up, make sure that they're ready. And oh, and I'm not going to sing happy birthday to myself. That would be a bit strange, I think. Oh, Booktuber Army retweeted this live stream, so maybe it'll get out a bit. JD Estrada also let people know about the live stream too. So we got still two people. Oh, three people. I see. It says three. Okay, so as usual, you can see behind me, it looks like a lot of boxes. It's not very pretty, but this is my little studio for now. And let me pull up my where is it? I have to look for this tweet. I didn't have it ready, did I? So, questions. There it is. Okay, I found it. So I will have the questions all ready. And there are questions from Ben Sanders and the Bald Book Geek. Oh, and Matilda too. Yes. Okay, so I got questions from three people, so that's good. But anyways, it is my birthday, so for my birthday I decided to take the day off. I just didn't really want to deal with having to work when I don't know what kind of plans there are today, so I don't know what's going to happen today. This live stream will probably be about maybe an hour. We'll see. So, if you have any questions, get them ready for me. I thought that I would show you a few things that I'm doing. I'll just show you what I'm reading right now. Still, I haven't even gotten very far in this book. I've been reading it for so long. And it's right here. Hope you can see it. This is Consider Phlebas by Ian M. Banks. It's part of the Culture series. And as you can see, it got wet, unfortunately. Oh well, but I will read through this. I have the first three books. Very interested in getting through this series. It's science fiction. Yeah, I don't really know a lot about this series right now. So far, it's pretty unusual. But basically there's this culture, and there's a big conflict in the galaxy, and the culture wants to assimilate everything. You know, it's kind of like the Borg in Star Trek, I guess, but not really. So they don't want various kinds of cultures in the galaxy. So they want to be the only culture. Now the other book, I barely started reading it. This is all about YouTube, actually. It's right here. This is Tube Ritual Volume 1 by Brian G. Johnson. I subscribe to his YouTube channel, and I'm part of the Tube Ritual Facebook group. This group is great. This guy's videos are a lot of fun. He helps people improve their channels and videos. So that's something that I'm interested in doing. I'd like to improve everything that I'm doing on my channel. One thing I should mention, my first live stream of this year, I talked about improving videos and channels. And one of the things that I'm finally going to get around to doing is doing better thumbnails. The ones right now I'm finding are too simple, and they take too long to make. I downloaded paint.net. I used to have that on my computer, but it didn't work before for some reason, and I really liked it. But now I've downloaded it again. It seems to work perfectly fine, and I'm going to start redoing thumbnails, and I hope they'll look a lot better than they do now. So let's see, check the chat. Anything going on there? Oh, you found me through Matilda's channel. And yeah, that book, what was it? Consider Phlebas? It's big. Yeah, let me grab it. It's actually, it's not that bad. It's less than 500 pages. It's just that it's wet. It got wet, so everything looks all puffed up. So it's really like this. This is actually smaller than a lot of the books that I read. There are a lot of books that are well over like 600, 700 pages. The biggest ones, I think 1,100 or more. Okay, I just got a little warning from YouTube. It says, YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. As such, viewers will experience buffering. So I apologize if you've got buffering. I hope it's going to be okay. But this will be available later on. Anyone can watch it. So I have a whole pile of books here. These are books that I really want to get to this year. And let's start off with the two big ones. Brandon Sanderson's Mistborn. I gotta start that this year. And Brandon Sanderson's The Way of Kings. This is part of the Stormlight Archive. There are two different series. This one, the third book, has only just been released last year. This one is quite long already. There are a lot of books in this series already. And I've heard Stormlight Archive tends to get better reviews than Mistborn, but Mistborn still gets very good reviews. So very interested in reading them. You can see Mistborn is much thinner. I think Mistborn was one of his earlier books too. Let's just check the chat. Oh, you just finished Way of Kings. Oh, how was it? Let me know. I'm just really interested in reading it. And also, if you can just let me know, is there any buffering going on? How is the stream going? I just really want to know. I can't tell from my end because, well, the camera is right in front of me. I also want to get to the third book of the Malazan Book of... I can't talk. I want to get to the third book of the Malazan Book of the Fallen by Steven Erikson. That's Memories of Ice. I love this series. Steven Erikson is just amazing at world building. Everything in this series, in this world, is unique. Just absolutely incredible. I just noticed I was shaking the book, so here you go. Much better view of it. But the races and cultures and just the lands are so incredibly unique in this series. I absolutely love it. And then I've had this book for so long, but I just haven't gotten to it. And I love this world. It is, of course, the Shannara world, or if you watch the TV series and you call it Shannara, go ahead, call it Shannara. This is the first book in Genesis of Shannara, called Armageddon's Children. and I think there are currently 5 trilogies or duologies that I have not read of Terry Brooks yet. I am so far behind now, which is a good thing. Yeah, I kind of think, because that means I have a lot to read, and I just really enjoy his books. And I used to read these books years ago, before I lived in Japan, and I just absolutely loved them. I love the world. And then my tower of books on the floor is gonna fall over. Sliding. And the other one, okay, science fiction. It is the first 3 books of The Expanse. What are they? Abaddon's Gate, Caliban's War, and Leviathan Awakes, by James S.A. Corey. James S.A. Corey is actually 2 authors. Why can't I remember their names? They're both very well-known authors. Abraham, I think. Let me look this up. James S.A. Cordy. James S.A. Corey. Look it up on Wikipedia. Daniel Abraham and Ty Frank. Right. I know Daniel Abraham a lot better than Ty Frank, so although I haven't read any of his books. Oh, Alina, hello. Nice to see you here too. So there's 4 people watching now. It's great to see all of you here so far. I'm kind of hoping that a couple others are going to show up, but I do know that JD Estrada said he would try to come, but I know he's working right now. Oh, one thing I did say on I think it was Facebook was that I was going to be drinking beer while doing this. Well, found out we're out. I'm just drinking some iced tea. So why don't we get to some questions? So first of all, okay, Ben Sanders asked me, how has being on YouTube changed your routine in daily life? So my routine, I guess, it has changed a bit. I tend to try to find myself some time where I can be by myself, so I won't be interrupted. As it's very difficult for me to do videos while I'm not alone. My daughter likes to interrupt me. She likes to be in the videos. I can't do it with my wife around because she's in the room that I usually, well, she's often in the room that I usually make the videos. Eventually I'd like to get this room looking much better so I can do videos in here. It's a lot more private. It's in the basement. Although while my sister is next door, you'd probably hear her. So I'd be doing it when I can be down here alone. But yeah, basically timing is the big thing. I work evenings. My wife works daytime or morning. My sister works daytime as well. My daughter's gone to school, so I'm usually able to do this alone. My mom is upstairs and she doesn't bother me when I'm making videos. So I have no problems with that. Yes, Lena, a decent hour for you? Actually, I tend to do my live streams around this time, so I can't do it in evening. No chance. At least not right now. Okay, and Ben also asked, how has your video creation method changed since you started? In the beginning, I guess you could say I was a bit more nervous when getting started. Actually, when I started, I wasn't even doing BookTube. I was doing Japan-related videos, and most of them were like 1 minute long videos of me showing something in Japan. And then I started doing some Japan vlogging, but they were still pretty short. And I started showing different places in Japan, and those were getting longer. In fact, I still have to do those videos. I have so many Japan videos I still have to do, and quite a few of them are going to be very interesting. I should get to those, really. When I started BookTube, I just returned to Canada from Japan, and before I was teaching English in Japan, and the way I spoke very slowly for people because a lot of them couldn't really understand me when I was speaking quickly. So that just carried over for a few months. I just couldn't adjust back to speaking at a normal pace. I was always speaking slowly, and it really showed in my videos. I was really slow. Lots of ums and uhs, although I edited those out. And I just looked back at my BookTube newbie video, which, by the way, the thumbnail's awful. I need to redo that. That video, well, I don't think it's really bad. I'd say it's a little cringe-worthy. The first couple of months, it was a little difficult for me to really feel comfortable in front of the camera, but I'm doing fine now. At least right now, I actually have an audience. I can see that you are there. I can see that you're watching. I can see that you're talking. So that's great. And as I went along, I made sure I was planning. I keep a list now. I keep a list of video ideas. In fact, I have a video that I need to publish. I recorded it almost 2 months ago, and I still haven't published it. And it has to do with having way too many ideas, and it's making it difficult for me to make the videos because I can't decide what to do. So I will get around to publishing that video, hopefully later this week, although I'm going to be a bit busy this week. Tomorrow and Friday I work longer hours. Tomorrow I'm going to be recording my Sunday, small booktuber shootout. No, not shootout, shout-out video, which I'll put up on Sunday. I hope I'll get it up on Sunday. And yeah, other than that, I wouldn't say that my method has changed very much. I guess I plan more. I do, I guess the thing that I do a lot more is keyword research. A lot of research about, well, making the titles, the descriptions, the keywords, and thumbnails. Making it so that it's, I guess, more visible. I do a lot of SEO now. And I think that's my main difference. Okay, Ben. Oh yeah, Ben is now called the Puffiest Huffle. He must be a Hufflepuff. Okay, so next is... okay. I don't think he's here. He's been here before. And, okay, Matilda, can I post my future giveaway on your Facebook group? Absolutely, go ahead. No problem. Definitely. So, William of Bald Book Geek, he asked, what books have you not got on with? Yeah, I don't have much of a problem with this. I tend to read the books without any problems. I guess there are some... Well, I heard dog barking. There's dogs upstairs. I guess the issue that I've had is for some series, like was it Arthur C. Clarke's Space Odyssey series. 2001 was very good. 2010 I thought was very good too. 2061 was good, not great. Then 3001, I had issues with that book. It just seemed like he wasn't even trying. Just the ending was awful, if you ask me. It was as if he was just trying to finish the series, and just the ending was a cliche. I don't know, it was just not, it just didn't sit right with me. It just felt very incomplete. Another one, Orson Scott Card's Ender's Saga. Ender's Game was very good, I thought. After that was, what was the next book? Children something, I can't remember. The second book of the Ender Saga I thought was very good, but the third book, Xenocide, that was awful. I'm just looking this up. Yeah, so Xenocide I did not enjoy very much. Not the best. I will continue with the series. Yes, Speaker for the Dead, I thought was very good. Let me see. Xenocide was not great. Children of the Mind, I'm curious about. Yeah, it says that Xenocide and Children of the Mind are a lot more philosophical in nature. So, we'll see. I'm not sure how good that's going to be. And I just want to add one more. This book was not bad. I thought it was excellent. But I found it difficult to get through because it was the middle book of a trilogy. And you might be surprised. This book was The Two Towers, Lord of the Rings. The first book, Fellowship of the Ring, I absolutely loved. I went through that so easily. The third one, Return of the King, was excellent. I got through that very easily. But The Two Towers took me a very long time to read. I think it's just because it was a middle book. Sometimes that happens. Okay, another question. Oh, and if you have questions for me, let me know. Just put them in the chat, because I only have one more listed here. Where was? I can't find Twitter. There it is. Okay, so the final one was Matilda Gothica. Talk about the books you read as a kid or a teen. When I was a kid, I read a lot of non-fiction. I wasn't really a big fiction reader. I read encyclopedias. I can't talk. And as a result, I named my blog I Read Encyclopedias for Fun, because I enjoy reading encyclopedias. These days it's Wikipedia. But as for non-fiction, I read a lot of books about space and dinosaurs, and for fiction I moved on to things like Hardy Boys. Didn't read much of it because I wasn't a big fiction reader. It wasn't until I was a teenager when I started reading a lot more fiction. That's when I started getting into fantasy. I read The Hobbit in grade 7, fell in love with fantasy. And then I think in grade 8 or 9, when was Jurassic Park published? I think it was 92. So maybe, no, I was in high school when I read Jurassic Park, and I loved the book. Excuse me. Let me drink. Yeah, so I loved the book. I enjoyed the movie, but I loved the book much more than the movie. The book was more intelligent. The movie was more action. There was an actual story in the book, unlike the movie, which is just run away from dinosaurs. That's all it seemed to be. Um, I read a lot of books in school, of course. I mean, everyone does, you know. And some of them I really liked. Actually, I really enjoyed Shakespeare. And I started reading more Shakespeare since then. Past 3 years. Let's see, I read Julius Caesar, which is interesting. It's a lot shorter than I thought it would be. Actually, Shakespearean plays are a lot shorter than you would expect. They don't read like novels, of course. Anything else? Well, I guess you could say I really started getting into reading when I was in university. I guess I was still in my teens then. Maybe around, yeah, I think around 18. I started reading the Pern series by Anne McCaffrey. And that still stands as one of my favorite series. I would love to go back and reread all the books. I just love getting into that world. And I started the Shannara series shortly after, which I also love, and I still have a lot of books to read. So that's it for the questions I got on Twitter. I didn't get any on Facebook. So ask me anything. And not in Israel. Did I ask a question? I don't remember. So anyways, yeah, so of course it is my birthday today. You're probably wondering how old I am. Am I older than all of you? Quite possibly. I'm 41, if you want to know. I did get a couple of birthday presents already. One of them is ice skates. My wife got me skates. My daughter got skates for her birthday, and we went skating on Saturday. So on Sunday, my wife got me skates. So now we can go skating anytime. My sister got me a ticket to a hockey game. So I'm going to be seeing my favorite team this Saturday. The Edmonton Oilers versus the New York Rangers. So I'm really excited about seeing that. I haven't been to one of their games since the early 1990s, when I was in high school or junior high school. I don't remember. During that game, we sat right behind the Oilers bench, which was a terrible place to sit because you couldn't see the game. We're up a bit higher, but we're still fairly close to the ice for this game on Saturday, so I'm very excited about seeing it. And it'll be my first time in the new arena, which opened a year and a half ago. And it's supposed to be absolutely incredible inside. And I keep saying this, I'm really looking forward to being inside. So hopefully it'll be great. Oh, you don't read books in school in Israel? Oh, really? Yeah, when I was in school, I guess in elementary school, we didn't really read. Well, we did read books. I remember I read Charlie and the Chocolate Factory in grade 6, and Charlie and the Great Glass Elevator, which I started laughing at in class, which yeah, everyone was probably wondering what was so funny. And I don't exactly remember what happened, but it had something to do with astronauts, I think. But yeah, junior high school, we read one book a year. And I remember Lord of the Flies was one, The Hobbit was another, and the other one I just don't remember. No, I do remember. Can't remember the title. I remember it's a book by a Canadian author. It was in The Way of the Wind? No. Something about wind. The Way of the Wind. No, that's not it. Um, it was based in a small town in Saskatchewan here in Canada, and it was like a slice of life kind of book, you know. And high school, we read, we of course read Shakespeare, Hamlet, Romeo and Juliet, and Macbeth. I'd say Hamlet is my favorite. We also read The Wars, which is also written by a Canadian author, about World War I. And, gee, what else? Read another play. I think it was by Tennessee Williams. I can't remember which one. And there are a couple other books. Yes, The Chrysalids by John Wyndham, which is a post-apocalyptic science fiction book. I really enjoyed that one. I thought that was a lot of fun. That was also a book that we were introduced to, Deus Ex Machina. So everyone was rescued in the end. Yeah. And the other book, I really don't remember now. It'll probably come back to me, but I don't remember at all. I think it was, no, it wasn't in grade 12. May have been in grade 10. Because I remember the grade 11 book was, you know, I don't remember. Okay, so yeah, not for school. So I need questions. So let's see. Whoever is still here, I know, is the Munchkin King. Your name is a tongue twister. Is the Munchkin King still here? I know Matilda is. Alina, you're still here, I guess. My live streams are good for drawing. Are you drawing at the same time? So if you have questions, let me know. So I'm just thinking, next month, not next month, you know, I do have a video I need to record. It's going to be about my own writing, so I'm going to be talking about my world, and later on I'm going to be reading things that I've written for this. I did an A to Z challenge in 2015, and I did 26-part series, 26 letters in the alphabet. So I wrote 26 flash fiction stories that they all connected together. That was unplanned, by the way. I wrote the whole thing without any plan whatsoever. But I do consider them to be canon within this world that I've created, Ariadne. And I'm going to be using them to make videos. So I'm going to be doing the A to Z challenge in April again, and this time it's going to be on video. I'm going to be reading one part for each video, and then talking about my inspiration, or how that story came to be, and the significance to the story itself. Maybe talking about the characters that are in it, because some of them appear in what I'm currently writing, which is kind of a prequel. I haven't gotten into the main novel yet. I really should. But yeah, this room that I'm in, this room I should be able to write in because I have privacy. I'd like to get into that. I should try to write about an hour a day to start. I'm going to be reading those stories, and I hope that it's going to turn out good. I hope it generates some interest to the story, actually. Okay. Ooh, 3 questions. What is the future of your booktube channel? This year I'm going to continue doing shoutouts every Sunday. I'm going to try to do shoutouts for the entire year, at least I hope. I'm going to get back into doing world building videos. I need to continue writing the world building articles on my blog as well. I'm going to be definitely getting back into reading the World series because I've been on hiatus for a year. But those videos have proven to be quite popular. The next country I need to do is Armenia, which is very difficult. I've talked about this before in a live stream as well as a couple other videos. But researching for Armenian books is difficult because almost all the Armenian authors are not from Armenia. They're like American Armenians, and that's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for people who have lived in Armenia for much of their lives, or people born in Armenia. And most of those are poets. And I'm more interested in fiction, or at the very least non-fiction. I guess after Armenia, what's after that? Oh, maybe Australia would be soon. Australia might be a fairly popular video. Who knows? And I'm sure that there are going to be some popular authors in there. I don't know. Garth Nix, Jay Kristoff. They could be in there. Also, collaborations. I am hoping to do some collaborations, especially in live streams. This will have to involve the Google on-air Hangouts. So I have spoken with a few people, and they have agreed that they would like to do it with me. 3 of them are Ben Sanders, if we could ever arrange a time that's good for both of us, possibly JD Estrada, and also Molly de Montaigne. Those 3 I would love to do live streams with. There's someone else who said that they would like to. I need to go and check who it was. And I'm sure that there will be a few others that we can enjoy doing a live stream. I think it will be a lot different than doing the solitary live streams, because at least with 2 of us going, we can have a conversation, and maybe a lot more interesting, a lot more banter going on. Collaborations, yes, not just live streams, but others as well. Okay, so Alina, you are 70% into The Way of Kings. Have it on audio. 45 hours long. How long will that take me to read? It's a big book. Yeah, it is very big. How many pages? Wow. It's over 1,200 pages. Okay, that may be the longest book I will have read. Okay. Yeah, getting back to the future of my booktube channel, there will be a lot more, and I hope to have, I guess you can say, unique channels. I would like to talk a lot more about writing as well, as I do more writing. I keep saying to myself, I don't want to do review videos very much, book review videos, but I'm just thinking, I should do them, because I find that some books tend to do really well in terms of views. The Silmarillion review that I did, I think that has over 600 views now. It gets steady views. It seems to be fairly popular. I loved the book as well. And Author's Answer is definitely going to continue. I've taken a slight break, done season 1. I've done up to 52 parts. Season 2 will be starting very soon. And, you know, there will be others. That goes into your next question, Matilda. Will you ever make your own tag? I've made my own tags several times already. I've made a lot of them. And yes, I do intend on making more. If you're interested in some of my tags, what was it? I did the spring green tag. Spring's coming up again, so if you can look that up, you can do it. The days of the week tag. So in that one, I looked at the meaning of the days of the week. In some, I took the for that, I believe I took somewhat of a astronomical meaning as well as mythological meaning. You know, Monday is the day of the moon, so books that take place on the moon. I did things like that, and there are quite a few others. You'll find them on my channel. I have original listed to the title of the tags. And do you like coffee? No, I don't. I drink tea. Actually, this is iced tea. Oh, this is getting warm. Actually, this is the Peace Tea, peach flavor. It's very peachy. Can I draw you? Yes, go ahead. I've tried. I just remember in junior high school doing portraits in art class. The pictures ended up looking like people with absolutely no, I guess, no emotion. The eyes looked so blank. I could get the rest of the face. It's the eyes. I just can't do the eyes. I can do animals, but humans? No. I can't do human faces. I can draw animals quite well. Okay. Oh, you made a new tag, yeah? Stop making 3 video series for 1 question. Actually, Alina, from what I've been told, like earlier on, I don't know if you saw this. I showed this book. This book I am just barely getting started reading. It's called Tube Ritual Volume 1 by Brian G. Johnson. You should check out his channel. It's Brian G. Johnson TV. He does videos about well, he helps people improve their videos and their channels. And one thing he says is that like 3-part series are a very good thing to do, because if you do one and that video does well and you do the next part of the series, most likely that video is also going to do well because people will be very interested in it. And you know, I think that, you know, I'd like to do that. I do series. I do a lot of series, and I find that like for the series that do well for me, Read the World series is doing very well. It's one of my best performing series in terms of watch time and viewership. My Taste of Japan series, where I just show you different things that I've seen in Japan, I haven't made a video in a while for that, but I need to get back to that because I have at least 20 more videos in that series. And I really need to get back to it because a lot of those videos are doing very well. One of them is a video I did inside one of the biggest Ferris wheels in the world, and it has over 1,600 views. It gets views steadily. I have another one at an aquarium that's doing quite well as well. Yeah, so certain series do incredibly well. And I don't think I would laugh at it. I think your videos are quite good. I enjoy watching them. You love doing it. Did well, yeah, because it was all about authors, platforms, and marketing. Oh, yeah. Marketing. Marketing is a big thing. A lot of people love watching marketing videos because it gives them ideas, especially if they're trying to sell a product. Doesn't help you catch up with author's answers. Or author's answer, I should say. Yeah. To be honest, I'm actually behind on my blog. I said I was going to get the final 2 questions up for season 3 or year 3, and I haven't. Support Trump? No, thank you. By the way, I'm not American. I'm Canadian. Definitely don't care for Trump. Sorry if you think he's great. Trump is certainly not Jesus. Trump is the complete opposite. By the way, Trump has gone on record saying that he is not Christian. That was several years ago. He's a con man, basically. Canada's not part of America. Nope. So anyways, let me just check something here. Oh. How do I close that? There we go. Done. Okay. So, questions. I do? Yeah, you do. Okay. Yeah, I do. I enjoy your videos. Marketing does really well. Everything that's sales related, live stream with Claire, where we talk about publishing all the books in a year, is the most popular. Yeah. Eventually, I would probably do a video about self-publishing once I'm doing it. You know, one thing that I'd like to do, that 26-part series that I've written, it's up on my blog. You can go ahead and read it. There'll be a link in the description of this live stream. I think there is a link to it right now, but go check it out later on. And in the search bar on my blog, you can search A to Z Challenge, and the first part of that story is called The Artist. So what you need to do is check that out, and throughout that entire month I wrote 26 parts, so you can read the whole thing. I will be reading it on my channel, not live stream, but on my channel, and I'll be I would like to actually include that in a kind of short story collection. So I'd like to write a few short stories based in Ariadne. I will be also doing a Journey to Ariadne. I need to continue writing that. It's like a prequel, as I said. It will be completely rewritten. It won't be the same when I actually publish that in book form. It'll be quite different. What I have up on my blog, actually it's not on my blog, it's on my official author's blog, I guess you can say. It's jdarcher.wordpress.com. And I don't like a lot of how it's written, so I am going to be completely redoing it. But that could be turned into a short story or a novella. I wouldn't change that into a full novel. It's Well, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how much I can add into it. Also, I do have some other writing that I'm planning on doing. There is another science fiction series. It's going to be a series of 10 short books. They're not going to be very long. 10. Yeah, I think it's 10. And basically it's one character. This is going... I don't like writing first person, but this is going to be the one situation in which I am probably going to be writing first person point of view, because it's appropriate for this book. Everything, or this series of novellas.
Sorry, I couldn't find anything called novelist.
You know, Siri on my phone just responded. Every time I say something about a series, Siri likes to start up. Hey Siri, can you be quiet? And it shut off. Okay. Yeah, that's that series. Okay, it didn't do it. That series is about a man who is terminally ill, and he has a bucket list, and this bucket list includes visiting every planet in the solar system. And he has a friend who is an incredibly rich person. He has a company that is developing a new spaceship which can travel between the planets within days rather than weeks. And so he recruits the main character to test the system, and it's not just testing the ship, it's testing a new spacesuit as well. And he gets to travel and experience the planets. So I'm just really excited about getting that one started. I do also intend on writing fantasy. I like writing science fiction, but I also like fantasy. I prefer reading fantasy, actually. Although I think I would also love writing fantasy. The thing I love about writing fantasy, I'm sounding repetitive. Fantasy. The thing I love about writing fantasy is that I can create my own cultures, create the world, create everything, and I don't have to follow any rules. With science fiction, I want to be as scientifically accurate as possible, within a degree, I guess. Of course, I need to be a bit creative. I need to create things that don't exist. But in science fiction, I feel a little more restricted in terms of science. Like the world that I created, Ariadne, I used science for that. I calculated the density of the planet. I calculated the how, like the radius and the circumference, the surface area of the planet. I calculated how far away it is from the star. I had to search for an appropriate star, one that's about 30 light years away, and make sure it's at the right distance for life, make sure the planet's the right size for life, and make sure that it has things like plate tectonics. I also figured out like where the different habitats, biomes, things like that, climate. And I enjoyed creating it. It was a lot of fun. And I also have to go into the political part of things, which is, I feel, a little more complicated. You know? I think that is one of the more complicated things to do. The culture as well. Future culture will be so different. Things like traditions change over time. Religion changes over time. and I have to take into account like events that happen in the future which we cannot really predict. So I need to figure out exactly what the culture is like. And it is a post-scarcity culture. The world, Ariadne, has a lot of resources, but the culture is one in which they do not want to exploit the resources. They want to live off the earth, or the planet, not the earth. They don't want to cause any environmental damage, so they're doing things as environmentally friendly as possible, because they've learned from mistakes here on Earth. So yeah, that's one thing that I need to consider. But for fantasy, I have to work a lot more on culture. Also develop the world. I do have this one world in which we have gods. So there are gods who are kind of like overseeing the world. They're not telling people how they must live, but they are judging. And there are three very distinct cultures in this world that live on this continent that have been getting into wars a lot. They've been disagreeing a lot, and these gods don't like that. So they split the continent into three. So there's huge gorges between these cultures, and then there's one central area where they can get together, which is an area of peace. No fighting is allowed. Absolutely no war is allowed there. These three cultures can come together and trade and negotiate, and within these cultures, every so often, they are judged. And that's all I'm going to get into, because it would tell you what happened in the story. But I would say that this is going to be a quadrilogy, 4-part series, and I have even started writing a prequel short story, which I'd like to get done as well. So I'm interested in that one. Now this, I don't think I would go beyond 4 books for this. It's not a world that I want to carry on beyond that. I may develop another world in which I do go beyond. Yeah, there is another world that I have developed. I think I may go into that one in a video. I'm not sure, but it's very, very preliminary, what I've developed for this one. It's very simple. People live in various cities, and I guess you could say that they're based on different elements. There's a city around a volcano that is based on fire, and they get their energy from fire. There's a world based on water, and it's by the ocean. It's actually on the ocean. It's kind of a floating city. Anyway, it's kind of like Atlantis, but it isn't. But there are other cities based on different elements, like earth, and there's another one that's, I guess, crystal. It's a kind of crystal. And the world is dying, and they're trying to figure out what's going on. Why is this like demon world coming into theirs? And the cities are safe havens, but they're starting to fail. So I guess the whole story is to regain control. It's going to be a lot more complex than that. Okay, let's check the chat. High fantasy is a bit scary for now. I love high fantasy. Like Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. That's high fantasy. I really enjoy. If you've seen my most recent book haul, I have Dragonlance. The first Dragonlance. That's high fantasy. That's really standard. You know, elves, dwarves, dragons. And I know it is based on Dungeons and Dragons, which I'm also very interested in getting into. I don't have anyone I can play with, but I'd just like to do character creation. I think it would be fun. Oh, you'll have to read it. Just writing is scary. Okay. Yeah, I'm not exactly certain I would write about elves and dwarves. I want to do my own thing, create my own cultures, and create my own world history. I mean, I may take some things from the elves and the dwarves, but I don't want to copy them. I really don't want to copy them. I just think creating my own thing would be a lot of fun. Yeah, so we're up to 1 hour now. Gee, have you been here the whole time? So actually, I am probably going to be ending it right away. If you have any questions you'd like to ask, then please ask me. I would love to answer. I think I'll be here for about 5 more minutes. I think I should say a bit more about my plans. My blog plans, actually. I've been so terrible at updating my blog lately. 2 years ago, I was doing 2 blog posts a day, at least 60 per month, and it was doing quite well. I think you'd love D&D. Total Noob started a couple months back with Sarah Scharnweber's husband. Huh. Yeah, I think so. Absolutely amazing for an author. What is it? Where is it? This one. Stephen Erickson. Also Ian C. Esselmont. They created Malazan together. They didn't use Dungeons and Dragons to create their world, but they I can't remember. Did they use GURPS or something? They used another system, and they created their world doing role playing, and then they decided to write books based on it, and it's just amazing. Really. Again, Dragonlance is based on Dungeons and Dragons. I don't know if you watch any, if you've ever watched anime. There's a series called Record of Lodoss War. When I was in university, I used to watch, because I was interested in going to Japan. I watched a lot of things in Japanese to try to improve my Japanese. But I was really interested in this series. It is high fantasy. It started off as a series of novels in Japan, but it was based on Dungeons and Dragons campaigns that the author and his friends were doing. And it ended up becoming I think it was a 13-part video series, and then later a 26-episode TV series. I love the video series. TV series is good. It's not as good, I don't think. But yeah, role playing can be great. So when I was a kid, when I was in junior high school, I actually played the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles role playing game. I still have the books somewhere. I loved the character creation. So much fun. What is your dog's name? Well, first, he's my sister's dog, and his name is... Sorry, I just got distracted. His name is Buka. It comes from Sambuca, which is licorice flavored, and licorice is black, and he is black. That's where it came from. My wife suggested that he be named Oreo because he's black, but he has this white on his chest, which I find a little unusual for poodles. But the name was too close to my sister's old dog, Romeo. So I decided not to go with Oreo. But that was a perfect name, though. GURPS is a lot more realistic, from what I know, at least. You can use it as reference for books. Yeah. I would actually like to look into GURPS. But Dungeons and Dragons, like, I know it just seems like a lot of fun for character creation. I don't know, I just enjoyed creating the characters. Doing the campaigns I haven't actually done, except in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles one, and I didn't do that very much. I created a lot of characters, a lot of mutants. But I'd like to get the AD&D books, like the basic ones, to start with. But now that we mentioned GURPS, I thought I'd like to look into that just to see what the difference is. And I should go to a bookstore and take a look, because I'm sure they have books there. Or I guess I could order them on Amazon. And yes, he is cute, but he is constantly biting. He's getting up to... No, he'll be 6 months old soon. But he is always biting. He's getting better. He doesn't bite me very much because I discipline him. If you're wondering how I do that, I just hold his tongue down. He doesn't like it. It doesn't hurt him. It's just very uncomfortable. But he doesn't like it. But he listens now. At least to me. And I devour anime. I used to watch a huge amount when I was in university. I have a lot of videotapes. I don't have VCR anymore. I have quite a few DVDs as well. But now that I can watch a lot of it on Netflix, I will. Last year I watched Attack on Titan. Really enjoyed that. I would love to see the second season. I started watching what is it? Oh, I can't remember now. It's the one where it's a virtual reality one. What was it? Online. Something online. I don't remember. I should. Sword Art Online. That's it. Okay, so I started watching that. I got past the first episode, but I didn't get into the second episode yet. I probably should. Both the first and second series are on Netflix. They brought back Full Metal Alchemist, which my wife actually enjoys. My wife is from Japan. She likes that series. They brought it back to Netflix. The first season is on. I wanna start watching it because I did enjoy watching what I've seen. Words are hard. No. Yeah, Sword Art Online lost you fast. Yeah, I've heard that it's not that great. Cowboy Bebop was great. Yeah, I agree. I really enjoyed that one. One thing that I saw, I did get the first DVD of was Dot Hack Sign, which has a lot of interest for me. I really enjoyed the first DVD. I never did get the rest. But what was it? Dot Hack Root I watched when I was living in Japan. I watched it on TV and I enjoyed it. I didn't understand much because my Japanese wasn't very good at the time. But I quickly lost interest in watching anime in general in Japan. I started watching variety shows, comedy, and I found that that was very good for my listening skills because they spoke so quickly. And then when my wife and I moved in together, I didn't really watch as much. And then my daughter was born, and it was constant kids' TV shows, so didn't really get to watch much. But I do have to say that both my wife and I love the Ghibli movies. And we went and saw, what did we see? Howl's Moving Castle in the theater in December, as they were showing the movies in the theater recently. So I want to see more in the theater, but I've got a few on DVD as well. You don't like anime as much as you did when you were a kid? Yeah. Yeah, my peak interest was when I was in university, and then I just didn't watch as much. And I just find that my time is limited. Right now I'm trying to get through all the Star Trek episodes on Netflix, and The Walking Dead. And I really need to get into watching Game of Thrones. I don't want to start watching The Expanse because I haven't read any of the books yet. I've heard the TV series is really good, and I want to see it. And I need to read the books first, so I should get into those. No chance of seeing Ghibli like that in the cinema there. Yeah, you're in Romania, aren't you? Yeah, we didn't really get to see it very much here. It's just that the theaters here kind of had this special thing going on where you can go and see one Ghibli movie a month. It was on for about, I think, 5 months, but we only saw one of them. It would have been great to have seen all of them. And yes, we were actually able to see it. No, we didn't see it in Japanese. They showed the movies twice, once on the weekend in English and once during the week in Japanese. We went to see it in English because my daughter has lost most of her ability to speak Japanese, so she wouldn't have understood it. And she can't read subtitles very quickly. So we watched the English one. The English one was fine, actually. It was very well done. But I do enjoy watching it in Japanese a lot more than in English. So that is one thing I would love to get my daughter to do, is watch anime on Netflix in Japanese, because she's just forgotten how to speak it. You had anime on TV for a few years when you were in middle school. We still have it on TV here, but I've found that it's mostly moved to Netflix and Hulu. Not so much on TV anymore. They're doing more original stuff. But yeah, TV's changed, you know. I tend to watch a lot more Netflix than TV anymore. Except for sports. If there's sports on TV, then I'll watch on TV. Or, like this Saturday, I'll be doing it live. Watching live. You know, I said I was going to do an extra 5 minutes. I did an extra 14. But anyways, I think I'm going to end this here. I did say before I was going to be doing weekly live streams. I would like to get into that. They may not be an hour long. They could be half an hour. It really depends on what the topic is. Like, I may do a live stream on world building, for example. I may do Although I have world building videos already, which I need to make more of. Definitely do live streams with other booktubers. Maybe even doing a whole Google Hangout one with several. I would love to do that. That would be fun. I may join others. So I join someone else's live stream, not just mine. And if you have any ideas for live stream, any live stream topics, then definitely let me know in the comments. Once this live stream goes up as a video, watchable video, let me know. I'd love to have some ideas for live streams. It's 9 a.m. CST. Central Time. Well, yes. What's 9 a.m. CST? That's Central Standard Time. Okay. Author chat on Saturdays, 9 a.m. CST. So that'll be 8 a.m. my time. We'll have to see. I'm not exactly sure. That's really early. Although my wife sometimes works on Saturdays, sometimes doesn't. It depends. I may get up early. I like to sleep in a little bit on weekends, but yeah, if I'm up around that time, definitely. I love to drop by and see. Okay, so I think I'm going to finish up the live stream. So if you have any comments, any suggestions, leave them in the comments below. Of course, there's no comment section right now, not until after this is up on YouTube. During the live stream, it's only chat. But thanks for coming and watching. It's a lot of fun. I actually enjoy doing the live streams. It's a lot different than doing the videos, that's for sure. So, I will see you next time. I'm not sure when I'll be doing the next live stream. I'll let you know both on I'll mention it on Facebook and on the other thing, Twitter. Yeah. So, thanks for coming. I'll see you next time.